also differ in the sense that you feel that religion has been a bane, B-A-N-E, to civilization, and I feel atheism has. And I will point to the worst mass murderers in modern times: Hitler, Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot. All confirmed atheists, all people who wanted to wipe out religion.
One of the most popular Christian canards is to blame atheism for the evil, tyrannical, and murderous regimes of Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, and Pol Pot. Atheism is not responsible for the actions of those regimes, since actions cannot be blamed on a negation. A negation does not tell you what a person wants to do. It only tells you what they don't want to do. For instance, Stalin's deeds were not the result of his presumed atheism, since Stalin's atheism only told you what he didn't want to do, which was to believe in a God. It didn't inform you of what did motivate him to perform his presumed actions of terror and tyranny, which was likely his desire for increased political power. In other words, he likely believed that power was important, and that motivated his actions thusly. Far from being an example of what the world would be like without religion, the regimes of Hitler, Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot affirm the dangerous and malignant nature of religion and God belief. This is because their regimes, like the Christian God, were totalitarian in nature. In effect, Hitler, Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot substituted themselves for gods instead of a traditional religious God. And like religious gods, they assumed the role of authority figures, demanding unwavering support, loyalty, and devotion. Like the Christian God, these men laid down strict moral and ethical codes, and any disobedience or doubt in the infallibility of the human God themselves was punished severely, just like with the Christian God. The 20th century dictators affirm that almost every time humans worship, praise, and give supreme power and control to a single figure, be it a heavenly God or a substitute human demigod, it ends in humanity being terrorized and shackled in mental and sometimes even physical chains.
Atheism provides nothing. It doesn't bring you hope. It doesn't bring you a sense of individuality. It doesn't bring you a sense of peace. It brings you nothing. It doesn't bring you rationality. It doesn't bring you logic. These are all things that you as an individual value. These are all things that you have placed a value upon. Why have you done it is the question, and why should it matter? Why does it matter? It doesn't matter because of atheism. I mean, it's not somehow that being rational matters because of an atheism. Why does it matter that you're logical, that you're a good person, that you're a strong person? Why does that matter even? Atheism doesn't bring meaningfulness to any of that. It doesn't give nothing. That is why I'm not an atheist, because on so many levels, level after level after level, its explanatory power is zilch. It is hopeless.
You have to admit, this is a huge problem for the atheistic worldview. That's all the morality ends up being.
I genuinely cannot see how on a naturalistic, atheistic view of the world, in which, we as humans simply are accidental consequences of socio-biological evolution, functioning in a totally mindless universe, all destined for non-existence, how there could really be any room for meaning in life. And I think an issue is being confused here. This is all about one's view allowing for such a thing as meaning in life, not about whether or not your life as an atheist is meaningful. I believe it is, certainly. But my worldview allows for such a conclusion, and I cannot for the life of me see how atheism does.
I think atheism does corrupt people. I think non-Christianity corrupts people. Corrupts them by setting them against God's law.
So I find that what logically follows from atheism are details that really no one can live out, and nobody really does. It seems to me that atheism borrows theistic capital while at the same time denying theistic belief.
All the prior footage were examples of prominent YouTube theists engaging in the biggest Christian fallacy on YouTube, which is to commit a straw man argument against atheism such that atheism is misrepresented as a philosophy or a worldview, and thereby force it to account for certain things and be accountable for certain things. In the minds of these theists, when atheism fails to give an account for morals or the meaning of life or give hope, they take that as a sign of atheism's invalidity and impotency, and likely feel it confirms the superior and correct nature of Christianity or their specific theology. That sentiment, however, is erroneous and fallacious. By definition, a worldview is the totality of one's beliefs about reality. Atheism is not a worldview, since it's not a belief, it's a singular disbelief. By definition, a philosophy is any personal belief about how to live or how to deal with a situation. A philosophy is a doctrine or system of beliefs. Atheism is anything but a system of beliefs. Atheism is simply one simple proposition, the rejection of theism. Anything further is a personal philosophy which is relative to each individual. Therefore, since atheism is clearly neither a worldview nor a philosophy, it is not incumbent on atheism to provide answers to the meaning of life, to give an account for morals, ethics, or provide hope and a sense of peace. Thus, any Christian or theist that tries to denigrate or belittle atheism because of its presumed lack of explanatory power or failure to provide personal clarity in regards to the big questions in life are engaged in fallacious and faulty reasoning.
How does an atheist account for the existence of logical absolutes, such as the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, and the law of excluded middle? So again, how does an atheist account for the existence of logical absolutes from his atheistic perspective? If the atheist says he doesn't need to give an account for them, then why not? Just saying he doesn't need to doesn't help his position at all. He'd be doing nothing more than ducking the question.
This final piece of footage is a perfect case in point to conclude upon. Asking atheism to account for the laws of logic is similar to asking evolution to account for the origin of the universe or the origin of life. It is not incumbent on evolution to do so, since evolution deals with life's diversification, not life's origination. In the exact same way, atheism does not have an onus to account for various things such as logical absolutes, since atheism only deals with God belief or the lack thereof.